everybody, and welcome to another edition of In the Warzone. I'm your host, Warzone Prez. I'm in a little bit of a conundrum tonight. You probably don't know, but the show is normally taped within a week of when I actually post and air it, because there's a lot of post-production stuff I go through. Gamer's Playpen is airing a rerun at the moment, which I'm kind of a little pissed off about, because it looks like Skeeter and the gang have bailed on me, but hopefully we'll be back on the air next week. But you still get your weekly dose of In the Warzone, so if you're not happy with that, tough. Well, I'm going to start this week's segment off with our my weekly video game controller segment. Like I said last week, I'm going to focus this week on the Genesis controller. This is the original Sega Genesis controller from the Genesis 1 and Genesis 2. Basic controller, the basic D-pad, 3 fire buttons, A, B, C, and 1 start button. Very basic control pad. Of course, when you play Sonic the Hedgehog, it doesn't matter which button you push, you jump, but it's ergonomically designed, kind of like that boomerang feel. A lot bigger than the NES controller, but for the first big entry into the 16-bit revolution, as they used to call it, it was definitely a really comfortable and wonderful controller. And as I stated in the past, it can also be used on the Atari because it's got the old the 9-pin plug. I want to move through this rather quickly. I don't have the official 6-button pad, but I do have a generic that'll give you a basic idea of what the re-released pad was. This is the SG Pro Pad 2, which is one of the generic Sega Genesis controllers that came out, and I do own one. As you can see, they added an additional 3 buttons, the X, Y, and Z buttons. A lot of the fighting games, like Virtua Fighter or whatnot, allowed for more control with the additional buttons. And that's basically it for the Sega Genesis controls. Now let's move along to some gameplay. And here it is, Sonic the Hedgehog, the first Sonic game for the Sega Genesis. Yeah, this was the game that was to rival the Super Mario Brothers, and it did with such class. Blast processing, 16 bits of unprecedented power, and as long as you had 1 ring left on you, you were good. But the thing that people liked about this wasn't just the traditional side-scrolling of the entire thing, but the gameplay itself, which was phenomenal. Yeah, there's a lot of platform jumping. Yeah, there's a lot of enemy busting. But the screen and the action just moves so incredibly fast. One of these days when I do Sonic 2, I'll have to show you exactly what I mean as far as the speed's concerned. It isn't like Mario Brothers where you're pedaling through the side-scrolling action. One of your main objectives with Sonic the Hedgehog games is to just get through the level as quickly as possible. Whether you're spinning, whether you're oh, I forgot to mention the lovely power-up boxes that occur throughout the levels. Which give you even more reason to speed through the level. Oh, and that ring up there, for all you people that are wondering what that is, that's one of the ways to get into the
into the additional levels to get the Chaos Emerald. Now the big thing about the the game itself is to collect all of the Chaos Emeralds so that you get the real ending of the game. From Sonic 2 on, you can change into Super Sonic with the ability to, with 50 rings, basically dive into the air and become an invincible ball of super speed that just kills everything in its way. And that's not bad. The only thing I really think Sega screwed up the Sonic series when they came out with Sonic Adventure. Not that I don't like Sonic Adventure, but it's just so the 3D just doesn't give it justice. And nothing really beats the classics with how quickly you can speed through these levels and just the way the gameplay is. It's fascinating. I'm just going to give you a quick tour of the first boss here. It's Dr. Robotnik. Oh crap. As long as you have one ring, you're fine. And 8 hits will win. Oh, trick to learn on this level. All you gotta do is hide in the corner, and when that ball swings, it won't hit you. And at the end, you get to release your buddies. There's 3 acts in each world or stage. On the newer Sonics, there's 2 acts in each stage. And it moves on to Marble Zone and so forth. But let's move on to our next segment, something I wanted to talk about this week, but unfortunately couldn't. Now I'll tell you exclusively on In the Warzone, World of Warcraft update.
That's right, I have an update on World of Warcraft. Now, I usually give a little bit of a World of Warcraft tidbit on the Gamer's Playpen, and I know in past weeks I haven't said much because they're slowly leaking things about Cataclysm as it comes. Just recently, around the 25th of August, they came out with an update about Azshara. Now, anybody that plays World of Warcraft and has a higher level character knows the dead zone is kind of dead. There's nothing in it. It's kind of like a level late 40, early 50-ish zone that really has a few quests and nothing really interesting to look for. Well, that's all going to change with the goblins entering the horde race, and from what I'm reading up on the website, they're going to be building war machines for the horde to help Hellscream, who has been ordained war chief, I guess. I don't know. But they're building new war machines, and Azshara is kind of like their home trade base now. It's going to be a level 10 to 15 or 10 to 20 quest hub newbie zone now. So all most of the monsters are probably going to be dumbed down to that point. A few of the old things are going to be thrown out. And the whole zone's just been completely revamped. I mean, yeah, the whole world's completely revamped, but this particular zone is just so changed around. In fact, there's even going to be a huge gate at the back of Orgrimmar that you can travel through this canyon into Azshara to experience all of that. In fact, now that the Barrens, if you remember a couple weeks ago on the Gamers Playpen, I was telling you the Barrens was going to be it was going to be split asunder, and half of it's going to be taken over by the Alliance, and it's going to be just utter chaos. Well, this kind of makes up for it. Azshara is going to be the new Barons. This is where you're going to want to go as a Horde character between 10 and 20, rather than traveling to Crossroads and doing most of that quest hub. You're going to favor going to Azshara now. And, I mean, there was even talk that, you know, the goblins are crazy enough that they were going to blow up mountains and restructure the land to turn the zone into a huge Horde symbol. Now, I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but there was talks about it. I mean, you know, the goblins, they're fucking crazy, man. I don't know. But that's your World of Warcraft update. And that'll pretty much do it for today's show. If you want to get in contact with me, you can email me at inthewarzone@aol.com. You got any ideas for the show, any questions, comments, complaints, you can email me there. Also, don't forget to catch me and Skeeter on Gamers Playpen, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Mondays on the All Digital Radio Network. And until next time, game over.